All right, let us get to our first guest of the program this week. His second appearance on the show, but his first as the reigning UFC bantamweight champion. He will defend his title for the first time on March 6th against Aljamain Sterling at UFC 259. The champ is here, Petr Yan, along with his manager and translator, Sayat Abdrakhmanov. Petr, thank you for doing this, champ. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I'm glad to see you, bro. Everything good.
I'm glad to have you here. As a lot of people know by now, you are in the United States training at American Top Team in Florida. When did you come to Florida? How long have you been in the United States for?
In Florida, everything good. Good climate, good food, good gym. I will here 7 weeks. Now we came here 3 weeks ago.
And how are you enjoying the change of scenery?
Все отлично. Это новая смена обстановки.
Change of scenery is good. It's good to get ready here and kick some ass after.
So this is the first time we've had the chance to speak since you became the champion, Petr. We talked about how badly you wanted to win that championship, and you did so by finishing Jose Aldo in the 5th round at UFC 251. What was that moment like for you when the referee finally stopped that fight?
Да, это были неописуемые чувства, это очень приятно.
At the time, I really enjoyed the moment. It's very cool to defeat such a legend and a killer himself like Jose Aldo. But right now, I'm not really thinking about that anymore. Right now, all my focus is on Sterling and how to destroy this man.
One last thing on the win, because your job is to keep on fighting until the horn sounds or the referee pulls you off. And the referee in that fight let things go for a very long time. You landed several unanswered strikes. It seemed like the fight lasted for probably a minute longer than it needed to. What were you thinking in that moment? Did you feel like the referee took too long to stop the fight?
Задача бойца в клетке делать работу до того момента, пока не вмешается рефери, либо не прозвучит гонг.
Yeah, just like you said, my job is to fight until referee stops me or until the horn sounds. And, in this fight, I was doing my job, and maybe referee could have stopped it earlier. But, right now, there's no question who is the winner in this fight. Maybe he stopped it earlier, maybe someone will protest it. But right now, there's no question left.
I would agree with that. What is it like being the champion, Petr? I know you have a big title defense coming up on March 6th, but you are the champion. Does it feel different? Do you feel like your life has changed at all?
Быть чемпионом – это очень ответственно, да, но для меня очень важно защищать.
Being champion is a very big responsibility, but just winning the belt wasn't my ultimate goal. My goal right now is to defend this title multiple times, and I'm completely focused on that. And Aljamain is just next step on achieving my ultimate goal and defending my titles many, many times.
This fight was supposed to happen in December at UFC 256, but a few weeks before the fight was supposed to happen, you withdrew from the fight due to personal reasons. Are you able to talk about what happened there and why you weren't able to compete in December?
Ну, я уже много раз об этом говорил, что поединок перенесся, да. Но, во-первых, со всей этой пандемией, да, связано.
Yeah, I explained it this already on a few different occasions. The whole pandemic thing affected me, affected my camp, the visa. And, it's not really important when I will beat Sterling. Important thing is that I will beat him. So it doesn't matter when. I'm a champion. He can wait until his beating will come.
In a fun way, you and Aljamain have built this fight up so well over the last several months. Even before you won the title, you and Aljamain were attached to each other, and everyone has been excited about this fight ever since. Do you consider Aljamain Sterling at this point in your career kind of like your arch nemesis, your biggest competitive rival, or is there somebody else that sticks out to you?
I cannot say that he's my biggest rival. He likes to talk a lot. He's a big mouse, and sometimes I just happen to answer for his tweets or something like that. So for me, he's just another opponent, but I understand that he's a challenger. He needs to attract attention that he needs so much. But as I started training and preparing, recently he's gone quiet. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened to his big mouse.
Were you having fun? Oh, go ahead.
Aljamain also have his teammate, Merab, Georgian, judoka, sambo fighter. I have my training partner, Dennis, with me too, who's also decorated judoka. If they have guts, we can do it like 2-on-2. I'll fight Sterling, and my training partners, Dennis, will fight his guy, Merab, and we will show them what's No Mercy team is looking like.
Мы сломаем их.
We're gonna break them.
So a little tag team match, you and your teammate against Aljamain and Merab. I love it.
Yeah, Aljamain already gone quiet. When he hears that, he's gonna be gone for a while.
One of the interesting things that you said the last time we spoke before you won the title is that you believed strongly that no matter who else was there in this division, you felt that Jose Aldo was going to be your toughest test compared to Aljo and some of the other guys. After sharing over 20 minutes with Jose in July, do you still feel that way? Do you feel like your fight with Jose Aldo is actually going to be tougher than the fight you're going to have with Aljamain Sterling?
Aldo is one of the toughest fighter in MMA. He punches hard. He have a unbreakable heart. He's a very, very strong fighter. Sterling, on the other hand, I don't know what he's hoping for when he's gonna fight me. Is he hoping just to work his jiu-jitsu on me? I don't understand. I'm working and training with black belts, and it's not a problem for me. I'm training to break him and destroy him, and I cannot see what he's gonna offer me, and I'm determined to prove to everyone that I deserve to be champion, and I'm gonna defend this belt for a long time.
Do you feel like Aljamain presents any kind of challenge to you? I mean, you feel very confident that you're going to go in there and do it and dominate in this fight, but anything can happen when that cage door shuts. It's a fight, but do you feel like Aljamain presents any sort of challenge to you whatsoever?
I hope there's not going to be much of a challenge from his side. Right now, mentally, I'm so strong, and I believe and I have no doubt in my mind that I'm going to beat him in every aspect. And, I believe that, the thoughts are materializing. Whatever you think becomes real. And from myself, I just need to be focused, cold-blooded, and just go forward and get the things done.
You mentioned one of your teammates that you've been working with to get you ready for the fight, the tag team match and all of that. But any other sort of new looks you've gotten over at American Top Team? Any training partners that you've been working with? Some new folks, so to speak?
American Top Teams, there's no shortage of sparring partners. There's many Brazilians fighters. There are many like champions of different organizations, many black belts. I'm working with everyone. I don't feel any trouble working with anyone, and in my head I'm so focused and so determined and confident that I'm gonna beat Sterling. So right now I'm really I would say really intense, and maybe after the fight I'm gonna relax a bit. but not right now is a focus time.
So we're a little over a month away from this fight, Pyotr. You seem intense. You seem ready to go. How do we get this thing done against Aljamain Sterling? I know you're expecting to go in there and dominate, but is there a certain way that you're visualizing this fight playing out?
Ну, хочу победить досрочно.
Yeah, I want to finish him. You know, every time I fight, my goal is always to finish the opponent, and this time going to be no different.
So as you've seen since you won the title, the division looks a little bit different. Like we've seen Frankie Edgar fight and win. Now he's fighting Corey Sandhagen on February 6th. TJ Dillashaw is getting ready to come back now that his suspension is over. Cody Garbrandt looks to be sticking around at 35 for the time being. And now Rob Font is in the top 5 after knocking out Marlon Moraes. So obviously you don't want to look past Aljamain Sterling, but you are the champion. You got a bullseye on your back. Do any of these guys sort of stick out to you if all goes well against Aljamain, or are you not even thinking about that right now?
Вы все услышите.
You know, you're going to find out in my post-fight interview in the Octagon. I will call out my next spray, and you're going to find out who's going to be next, who's going to be with it next after Sterling.
If enough. I do want to touch on one thing real quick. I know you've done some interviews. You've talked about TJ Dillashaw, and you said essentially that if all goes well, you beat Aljamain, and if the UFC wants you to fight TJ and the price is right, you're into that fight. But I am curious, from your perspective, do you think that TJ deserves an immediate title shot after the suspension, or do you think he needs to get another win, fight somebody else, and earn that title shot first?
Я не знаю, я не буду судить, кто заслуживает, кто не заслуживает.
To be honest, I don't know if he deserves to fight for a title or no. You know, it's up to the experts, matchmakers, organization. You know, if they're going to choose him as an opponent, I'm going to fight him.
Last thing, Pyotr, what's your favorite part about being in Florida? Like outside of the training and getting ready for the fight, are you doing anything fun out there? Doing anything with your free time? Enjoying the warmer weather? Like, what are some of the things that you like about Florida that maybe you weren't expecting to like?
Bro, when we have time, we spend its time for relax, for recovery. Yes, we're going to beach, to swim, to massage. Yes, it's only relax time. I told you, I now 100% focus, only prepare, yes, for my next fight.
So nothing. So we're just enjoying. We're training. We're relaxing, recovering. All things focused on Aljamain Sterling.
Yes.
There you go. All right, but hey, you're the champion, man. That's what it's all about. You're the champ. You got to do things your way. But very excited for this fight, Pyotr. I think it's a really fun matchup. It's all going to culminate with Aljamain Sterling, this rivalry that has gone on for so long. Really looking forward to it. Thank you very much for the time today, Pyotr. All the best to you for the rest of camp and in the fight itself. And Sayat, thank you for your time as well. I truly appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.